Good evening, Democrats.
Good evening. Good evening.
Welcome to the Lowndes County Democratic Party meeting of February 6, 2012. I'm sort of taken aback that we have a small group tonight, but I'm happy that you have taken time out of your busy schedule to come and be with us. If you would please rise and let's take a moment of silence to remember those who serve our country so bravely. Thank you. And the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. When you came in, you should have received the agenda for this meeting and the minutes from last month's meeting. Last month we had Mr. George Page from the Parks and Recreation Authority here. A video of his speech is available on the Lowndes County Democratic Party YouTube channel, so if you missed last month's meeting, you can find out what he told us about Parks and Recreation. If those minutes look suitable, I would entertain a motion to accept them. Thank you. And a second? All in favor? Thank you. Jim Parker, do you have our financial report? Yep. Thank you.
All right. At the beginning of the new year, on the 1st of January, we had a balance of $1205.03. And ending on January 31st, it was $1064.03. That was it.
Thanks, Jim. It's important for us to support the local party by throwing in $5 or a $1 or a $10. We had a rally last week on Saturday on the 28th of January, and the Georgia Deserves Better rally. Here's my Georgia Deserves Better rally sign. We have now a box of these in the office that we can use at our events all year long that say Georgia Deserves Better, and we should elect Georgia Democrats. At the rally, we passed around this little bucket, just a little plastic jar from those there, and we raised ourselves some money. So I'm going to pass it around and let you put in a $1 or a $5 or nothing if you don't have anything, and maybe we'll raise a little money. We would also happily take your membership. If you came in, you should have gotten a membership form. Membership dues are not a requirement to participate in the party, but they do help us keep the office open, keep the lights on, keep the internet going. Sometimes we get to have a lot of elected officials here. Sometimes we get to have a few elected officials here. We have Sheriff Chris Pine with us tonight, and I would be happy to have him take the microphone. Sheriff Pine.
Thank you very much. I certainly appreciate it, and I do apologize for missing a few of our meetings, but I was looking forward to coming tonight and talking with you, and I'm certainly open for any questions that anybody has, and what I've tried to do since I was elected as Sheriff of Lowndes County. Of course, I was elected on the Democratic Party, and I was humbly appreciative for the support. You stood behind me and helped me, and words that can't tell you how much I appreciate the support that I had. It's my intentions to run again for Sheriff of Lowndes County, and unless things drastically change, and I don't think they will, I'll be running on the Democratic Party. So I've certainly tried my best to be the kind of sheriff that you expected me to be, and put in about 12, 14 hours a day. I've had a long career with in law enforcement. I started my career in 1966, and with the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office. I left them in '71 and went to the Georgia State Patrol. I retired with the Georgia State Patrol, stayed retired for approximately 6.5 years. And, of course, Ashley Polk stepped down, and I saw the opportunity to run for sheriff. And like I said, I ran on the Democratic Party, and I'm very thankful, and I'm certainly glad to be here. And I'll answer any questions anybody has also. My old buddy George over there, I'm sure he's got some questions. So, yes, sir.
Are you seeing any change in the crime rate?
Absolutely. There's been a lot of change in the crime rate here lately, and it has a lot to do with the economy, of course. And there's not hardly a day that goes by during a week that we don't make a drug arrest. And it's the burglaries have really increased. Of course, our success in solving some of those crimes we've been pretty successful in that also.
Is it just straight out drugs, or is it meth?
No, well, there's a lot of meth. Meth is the popular drug right now. It's cheaply made, and the profit from meth is pretty good. So that's the major problem. Of course, we still have cocaine, we still have marijuana, we still have abundance of that also. But our cocaine traffic has slowed down tremendously. We have an interdiction team on I-75, and it appears that they're going, instead of running north and south, they've started going east and west. So our drug traffic trade has slowed down a good bit as far as interdiction. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. And Valdosta has grown tremendously, and of course, it's grown in the last 3 years. The growth is there, and of course, the crime rate as well as the growth is on the rise a little.
I just want to clarify what you're saying there about the crime rate, per 100,000, that sort of statistical thing. Is the rate actually increasing? And we're talking about, let's say, property crime or crimes, since the economy's so bad, you mentioned robberies and different things, or do we have things like assaults on the uptick as far as the rate?
Yes, sir, but most of the arrests that we've made in the last couple of years is mostly drug related as far as thefts. But now, the economy does have a little bit to do with it, but not so much the economy rather than the drug trade. So that seems to be what picks the drug traffic up.
I do have a question since you're the sheriff. It's an issue that has been raised on occasion, and that is, let's say, the effectiveness of the so-called war on drugs, whether or not we're prosecuting that crime. We spent a lot of money, and still, over the last decades, as well as I do, over the last decades.
Yes, sir.
And it just appears that there's something ubiquitous as ever.
Well, one thing, and I think I understand your question. One thing that we've experienced, and once we make the arrest, it seems like they can bond out and get out faster than we can get back to the office. So that's one thing. And two, now we're looking at possibly starting a ankle monitoring system to kind of save us a little money on the cost of the jail and housing them until they go to trial. Does that answer your question?
Sort of a little bit.
Yeah, well,
Because, now, I'm trying to figure out what the problem is. I suppose you see that they're bonding out, they're back dealing again. Is that the thing, or are they?
Yes, sir.
Are they fleeing?
Well, we have our turnover is tremendous. And it seems like we just got the same old customers coming back. They bond out, go to trial, they're either put on probation, and this violation of probation, they come back to jail, that sort of thing. So we've had a good, a turnover like that. George, you gonna let me down?
I got so many questions I was going to pass on it.
George is a friend of mine. George, thankfully, he supported me the last time I ran, and of course he and I have gotten along pretty good. Of course, he's always got questions for me, and I'll try to answer them when he comes up. But
My first question is, we have had 30 jail deaths in that jail from 94 to 2009 that I have record of. I was told that the sheriff department is not under the Open Records Act. Therefore, we don't know how many jail deaths have occurred in jail from 2009 to present. My question is, do you agree with the attorney that you're not subject to the Open Records Act?
well, in some instances, like if it's something that's under investigation, of course, the Open Records Act does not apply. But now I'll be glad to answer you. Since 2009, since I've been the sheriff, we've had, and I'm pretty sure I'm correct here, we've had one death, and of course it was of natural causes, so I can't control that. It was, I believe, a heart attack that young man died.
Straight up, my question is, do you believe that you are exempt from the Open Records Act? In other words, I want to make a claim because that's the flavor of my nature. If I write you a letter and ask you to give me in writing the number of jail deaths, can you respond to that within the law of the state of Georgia?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. That's not what I heard, but we'll leave that at that. Number two, on May 8th, 2010 of this last 2010, there was allegedly an individual that was tased in the jail, and he died. Is that the guy you're talking about?
No, sir.
That's not him?
I'm not familiar with that case, George. I'll have to look it up. But
May 8th, 2010.
okay, I'll look.
With that inmate, that former inmate today, for the third time, and he's on record. I have DVD on it where he gave testimony that day. And here again, that is allegations because we can't prove it, but all I'm saying is that look into it again.
Well, I'll look into it. I'll certainly look into it and give you an answer. But the only time that an individual is tased is trying to subdue him without using any force. But and the taser, sometimes I think it's a good thing, and sometimes I think it's not. But it does keep the officer from using deadly force. Being tased rather than using deadly force, I think that's certainly a deterrent.
Okay. Now, my last comment is more of a comment. You opened up when I came up in terms of we being friends. I consider most all human beings my friends and all like sources. But I have to admit that I've supported your campaign, and I'm disappointed. I think that when it comes to me going to the jail and talking to people on issues on behalf of parents, and I'm sad to say, but personally, Ashton Park gave a better service than you did, and I'm hoping that can change starting tonight, so I can support you in the next campaign.
Sometimes I regret asking George if he's got any questions. But I appreciate you, George, and I'll get you some answers on that. I tell you this though, as far as me being prejudiced, there's not a prejudiced bone in my body. Since I've become sheriff, I've promoted more blacks within the sheriff's office than any sheriff has in the last 20 years. I think I don't look at the color. I look at the ability to do the job, and if they're qualified, then they'll certainly get promoted in my shift.
Wholly unrelated subject is something I've been curious of. What percentage of the Lowndes County Sheriff's the officers are former military? Do you have any idea?
No, sir. The percentage I couldn't honestly answer you. I don't know, but a good many of them are past military.
I'm kind of curious what those stats are. If I
Yes, sir.
write you, I can get
I can get that information for you and be glad to get it for you. I certainly will. In fact, I tell you, we, within the sheriff's office, if we have somebody that's in reserves, of course, we continue to let them, save them a place when they do get back out of reserve. And I think that's one thing that's very important. I support our military. We wouldn't have the freedom that we enjoy without them. Yes, sir.
Is there any hiring that you're doing?
I'm sorry, sir.
Is there any hiring?
Yes, sir. I mean, we don't have the turnover with the patrol and with our narcotics division and our criminal investigation division as we do in the jail. We have a good bit of turnover in the jail itself, and you have to realize being an officer in the jail is kind of being locked up yourself. So it's a tough job that they have to do. Yes, sir.
The ankle monitoring, how's that going with the budget? Is that working out with the budget of the county? And have you actually got anybody in the ankle monitoring system yet?
No, sir. We are just fixing to start that program, and we're going to try it for about 6 months and just to see if it's going to save us any money as far as having them on that ankle monitor rather than having them housed in the jail. And we're just going to try it for 6 months, just a trial basis, just to see if it's going to work for us, see if it saves the citizens any money. Our budget, the largest portion of our budget goes to the jail. So, anytime we can save money there, then we're certainly going to look at it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
It was an unexpected pleasure to have the sheriff with us this evening. Now we'll have our chairperson's report. Lou McClendon will bring us membership.
Good evening, everybody. And as we talk about the membership, first of all, our membership is low. We have to do more in our membership. The membership is not for one person. One person cannot bring the rolls up to where it ought to be. We've got to make ourselves a majority of one to tell the story to everyone that you see, everyone that you meet. Now, you have seen the Republican campaign. That should make recruiting people into our party easy. I tell you, when there is a debate going on, we postpone everything else to look at it because we know that this is the evening for Comedy Central. And you should be able to sell our program just by having them to come over and look at the other fella's program. We have got to get out now. You cannot wait until November to start getting members in because there is a lot of work that we are going to have to do. Number one, we're going to have to get to these churches. Number two, we're going to have to knock door to door. 3, we have got to let the people know that there is a Democratic Party in this county There is a Democratic Party in this city. As long as we keep it a secret, we will never get members. With all of the things that are going on, if the truth be told, this place should be standing room only on a night like this. Now I tell you, we get stuff on email and what have you, but I'm telling you, if we don't do something about this situation, we're going to see a rough, tough next 4 years. It is incumbent upon us. Don't give in, don't give out, and don't give up. We have got to tell the story. There are folks that are sitting around, and we have become, this is why 2010 was so bad. We became complacent. Folks, we cannot be complacent. We have got to get out. We have got to get up. We've got to tell people there is something that is going wrong. Anytime you get somebody that say, I don't worry about the poor, the hell is going on? Folks, wake up and smell the coffee. We have got to wake up. We have got to let it be known that we do care about the poor. We've got to let them know, just like George was asked